Tales from the Loop, Episode 1. So I saw this show on Amazon. It wasn't under my recommendations or anything. I just saw it and I read the description and I was like, well, I'll watch it, see what I think. And I liked it. I was like, wow, this show's great. It was very thought-provoking science fiction. It was intriguing science fiction. It's what science fiction should be. It wasn't, when you're watching it and analyzing it and you're like, well, could this be this? Could it be aliens? Could it be interdimensional? Could it be the second thing that I thought it was is what it ended up being. So I felt vindicated. But I mean, it could have been like Dark City. Like, did the aliens pluck this place, and then is this an experimental? That was my first thought, that it was like an asteroid. Harkening back to For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky. It's an internal asteroid planet, and things are going on. That's a world ship, right? That was literally my first thought, and my mind was going back and forth to was that it, or was it what it ended up being, right? So I was fascinated by it. The actors were good. There's not a lot of actors in it, but they're great, and the dialogue was great, and the story was great. It reminded me of the old school Twilight Zone. It gave me that feeling where there's not necessarily a lot of action, but everything that's happening is important, and there's clues. It's like clues for your mind to piece together what's happening, and the acting was good. So I loved it. I was like, wow, that's what I believe good Star Trek is, or is supposed to do, is that type of thing. And I haven't seen the second episode yet, but I'm going to watch it. I don't know if it's the same actors, the same characters, if it's different characters. I would be okay if it was different characters telling a different story in the same town. So, because that's what it reminded me of, like almost like a anthology series, I think is what it says on Amazon. I'd have to double check. But I loved it. I was like, wow, this is great. This is great science fiction. And it didn't look super high budget. Maybe it is. I don't know. But again, I was fascinated by how good science fiction can be done, and you don't have to necessarily spend $1 bajillion. Although I'll watch that too. I'll watch all of it because it reminded me of the movie like Explorers, like growing up with kids going out into space. I loved it. I loved that movie. The Last Starfighter. I loved that movie. Going back and watching it now, I'm like, but I still get the nostalgic feeling, and I love it. So, but yeah, it was well written, well acted. The set pieces were great. So I loved the show. I recommend the show, at least for the first episode. I'll recommend the first episode. I'm Sci-Fi Roundup, and if you like my content, please subscribe. Thank you.